Right, morning all. It's DJ Tazzy vlog. I think it's called a vlog, is it? I'm a little bit out of touch with all these sayings. But anyway, just wanted to say good morning. Been stuck on the M23 for about an hour and 35 minutes. So I thought, oh no, I'll get up and start having a slight rant. Actually, it's not a rant. It's more the truth. It's more the truth. It's reality to what goes on within the transport industry, we'll call that. Now, a lot of you guys are more aware of what goes on. There's a saying I was told it's actually called union busting. Okay, so basically, if you've got 100 staff within a firm, each member of staff is basically negotiated his own wage, and every time he feels he needs a pay rise, he will go and talk to the boss. The boss will say yay or nay. Personally, I think if he don't like you, you don't get it. If you're on your hands and knees and you're paying a rent, you'll get it. Okay. My predicament is and I want, for legal reasons, I won't name the company, but you guys that know me, being told, yeah, you know, this is what I pay ample. So you think, okay, so you kind of, before you take the job, you work out the price that you're getting, and you're just about keeping your head above the water. You're paying your fuel to travel to work, to come home again, so that's all paid for. And shit like the fuel-demic comes up. I mean, is that even a word? There was no fuel shortage, but everyone decided to go out and buy fucking gallons of petrol and diesel and store it somewhere, and basically screw the whole country. When originally, when it was stated, it was from 1,200 petrol stations, only 10 were shutting down, which left to me was 1,990. So it just didn't take a mathematician to work out that 10 petrol stations shut out of 1,200 weren't even going to affect nothing. It was the word panic. Anyway, that's by the by. Going off the situation, the subject there. Right, so today I want to talk about working for companies that underhandedly negotiate with staff, and when they negotiate, they first of all will always tell you, whatever you do, don't talk about your wages to other people. Right, to me that is very underhanded. Secondly, it's for me as an employee to decide whether you're paying a decent wage or not. Thirdly, when you do a niche job that you can only do specifically to your license or certifications or training courses, whatever, not a lot of people can actually apply for what you do. So I'm not saying I've got the balls, or certain people like me have got the people by employers by balls, but we undergo a lot of training, and we decide we want to do certain things, so we'll pay money out of our own pockets to go and get trained to do these particular jobs, because we know there's not a lot of people that can do it. Anyway, that's by the by as well. So I actually work for a particular company at the moment. If he's got probably about 60 to 70 staff, every single member of staff is on a different pay rate. Now, obviously, being a HGV driver myself, and amongst other things that I can do with it, I'm a very friendly person, not nosy, friendly, but I'm always make sure that I'm keeping in touch with reality. Since I started this particular company, fuel has actually gone up 4 times, so I'm pretty much in a deficit, and I'm robbing Pete to give to Paul, and that's the reality of it as well. Unfortunately, like an idiot, I've got to travel many miles to work, many miles home, long hours, a long day, because obviously the travelling implementation plus the travelling at work. So I don't think that my wages actually covers what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, yes, I am looking to move on. It's a thing that you've got to do. Now, in the job that I do, there are only 3 of us. Three, sorry, I've got arthritis, so yeah, 3 of us. In the company that I work for, there is only 3 of us that do what we do. There is driver 1, there is driver 2, and there is driver 3. There is one more driver, but he's, you know, pretty old fella. He's retired out, so he just drives a van. I'd say the first driver, who apparently is a very good friend of the owner of the company, he's on an absolute extreme amount of price, probably around the 19 to 20 pound mark. There's a guy in the middle, give it to him. He's a good buddy of mine. He's on I won't state, 18, 20, all right, okay, so he's on about 15. And there's me that walked in, and pretty much walked into a brick wall, really, because I was conjured to, oh, we're moving, conjured to being told that, you know, it was a good price that was given to me. It was a hell of a lot better than what I was doing, or what I was getting before. Start her up. And yeah, I mean, I've joined the team, and basically they just wanted me to be able to take the pressure off of these 2 guys. Now, what I've learned over time is that driver number 1, who's on an extortionate amount of money, he's basically, he does the least amount of work. Being a slight novice to it as well, I'm actually running rings around this guy, but I'm actually taking home half his pay packet. I mean, I would like to be cheekily and say that I'd love to know what he's taking home, but it's not really my interest. My interest is to look out for my interest, and I've got my appraisal coming up tomorrow. So, question from me, I don't like to dress things up with sugar. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I'm very straight. Sometimes it works out to the worst of me, because my honesty and my straightness actually bolts me straight up. And but what I can't understand is if you've got 3 people doing exactly the same job, why would you put them on 3 different pay grades? Now, I used to be able to understand the difference of seniority, which would be maybe £1 or £1.20 or £1.30 more an hour. You'd say fair enough. He's been doing the job for 30 years. His experience is exemplary, but in this job, once you know it, you know it. There's no way that you can become more of a professional unless you go into heavy duty. And you know, it is what it is. Now it's the case that there are 2 of us carrying this one guy who is probably on 1.5 times more than both of us put together. And I can't understand why these people in companies actually do that. You know, it's the case that a certain member of staff is given a pay rise because they've just negotiated, or shall I say negotiate, I'll be a bit more brutal, feathered their own nest because they haven't given two monkeys about other people. And I'm not saying unions are a good thing, but they're certainly not a bad thing. But discrimination is definitely one. Union busting is number two. What I can't understand is why you would do that, because to me, playing staff against each other, because curiosity, there are a lot of employees that are curious. We just want to make sure that we're earning what we think we're worth, and I know what I'm worth, you know. And I just can't understand as a member of staff how I report things, I do things to an honest level, I don't hide nothing, I'm truthful all the way, only to find out that it works to a disadvantage because people don't like honesty. They like to bury their head in the sands. Employers sometimes they don't like honesty. When you're honest, they'll push you to the side because they'll see nothing but trouble. They'll see you as a troublemaker. They'll see you as a troublemaker. I don't think it's a troublemaker. It's just giving an honest opinion and an honest view. There is nothing wrong with that. A healthy, honest opinion is the way to be. I've known quite a few people that have been dishonest in this industry. It just doesn't pay, you know. You'll find that, you know, I've spoken to some people along the line that are not in the driving industry. They do jobs that run alongside it, and they say, oh, I don't really like that driver, he can be rude. Now, rude, they would say rude, I would say honest. He's brutally straight. He doesn't like to mince his words. Now, there are other drivers that actually feather their nests. They play this jester type of guy. It's all a facade. Here I've got something in my left hand, but you can't see what I've got in my right hand. And that's the way some people have gone. But a lot of us still can't understand why some companies seem to think we're not worth what we are paid. Now, when you bring into the equation guys that try the job and they leave, you see people come and go, they can't go. We always say to them, it's a bit like a Marmite, you either like it or you don't. You just don't do it just for the money. It's good if you can like it because it's a bonus, but if you can actually do the job and be good at it and like it, that's the biggest bonus you'll ever have. If you dislike what you do and you're only doing it for money, then you'll be in a very unhappy place. You'll live with a load of resentment, you'll live with a lot of dislike, you'll get stressed out like no tomorrow, and you think to yourself, if you don't like the job and you complain about it so much, why don't you just leave? That's right, leave. There are jobs out there. I've always heard from people, oh, there's no work out there. Rubbish. There's loads of work out there. You just got to be prepared to pull your finger out and get on with it, even if you've got to use it as a stepping stone. The word loyalty vanished years ago. Loyalty disappeared in the horizon when the new generation of managers came out and absolutely screwed the decent workers, the guys that abided by the rules, the laws, and they done everything to the correct, to the letter. And it just kind of caused a bit of friction. It then became two departments, them and us. So I thought I'd do this one this morning because I've been sitting on the M23, like I said, for an hour and 35 minutes. Something's happened, and silly little things like this run through my mind, and I think myself, why is it that people can do that, treat some human being like something they seem to think that they are just not oblivious. I mean, I can't even find the words to it. They just cannot understand that being a human being, you'll work it out. You're clever enough. And if you can't work it out, there's definitely something wrong there. First impression's always the last. But now it's a cover-up. I call it lip service. A lot of companies will give you lip service. They'll do whatever they can to get you in, get you on board. You know, we've got another new member on our team, treat him well for the first 3 days. And they will drop you in a glory of shite. Training. You know, it's not like many years ago, you'll do something properly with someone. And yeah, they'll set you out slowly, they'll shadow you for about a week. Sometimes 2 if you needed it. Now I'm not saying you need, as a grown man or a grown lady, you need to have your hand held, but you do need to be pointed in the right direction. They need, as a company, they have got every obligation and they have the duty of care over you. They need to make sure that you're working to safe standards. And it's these little pointers that go through my mind every day, and I found that as I'm doing this, I actually feel quite comfortable because I'm actually venting it off my chest. I'm not having to play judge and jury with myself for an hour and 10 minutes to work and back, because I will never have the answer for myself. Though I'm a logical person, and I'll give myself a logical answer. But sometimes it's better to hear views off of other people. But if you're an owner of the company or a company and you ever watch this, feel free to leave a comment, because I know for a fact I'm not the only person. I'm not the only person that feels like this. There are many people that feel like this. Some guys, they tend to think, you know, if I don't say something, it'll just go away. If I don't say something, I won't be seen as a troublemaker. If I don't say anything, then there's no problem there. I don't want to create a problem, as I don't want to lose my job. How can you lose your job for being honest? There's no way you can lose your job for being honest. You might upset 3 people in a due course, but in the long run, you'll be respected even more. What the fuck is going on here? They're shutting everything down. Everyone, they've shut the lanes down. What a load of bullshit.
Exit the highway towards M11, towards Maidstone, after 1.9 miles.
Sorry about that. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a fault. It's just a fault. Just like little things that niggle me in the morning. You know, why is it this and why is it that? And why can't that person do exactly what we do? Why do I feel like as if I'm a novice? And if I'm being treated this way, how am I going to be treated when I've got the full experience? Well, I'm not. I mean, but these are the sort of things that get me on my mind. This is probably another reason why we don't get, and we're not getting the right amount or the fluctuation of people we want in the industry, because people that want to come into the transport industry, whatever sort of driving it is, they'll look at it and think, Christ, I know that guy. He's being treated like shit all the time. Why would I want to put myself through that? I know. I'll go for a job that's £8,000 less and less the problem. I'll take a job in an office. I'll take a job doing whatever the way, not behind a steering wheel. That guy's got so many responsibilities to carry all day long, but he does it so well, it's all covered up in his movement. But you know for a fact he's actually doing it, because a lot of the things we do as drivers, we do plenty of checks. We constantly checking all day long. Loads of paperwork that goes with it. You know, you end up feeling like a social carer or social worker after, with the amount of reports you've got to write out. He said this, she done that, and you've got to write out the movement of his body and everything else that goes with it. Oh, then you've got the electronics that go with it. Special apps for checking, special apps for this and special apps for that. And oh, by the way, companies want you to make phone calls. Phone the customer before you get there. I don't see you giving me a phone. Where does it state that I've got to use my own personal phone to do work for you? So these are the silly little things that niggle at me every day. And I'm sure it niggles a lot of people, because a lot of guys, they're now thinking, do you know what? I really had enough of this. I had enough of being mugged off. And I know quite a lot of guys that have come out of the industry because of these sorts of behaviour from management, small companies, big companies, whether they're big or small. And you'll have guys that worked in the industry and then for a while, and you know, they're given an opportunity to move up, and I say good luck to them. Do you know what? Good luck. I wish them all the best. And these are the people that you find that move up to a management level. They then become how would I say without being rude, they develop a can-do attitude, or in layman's terms, they become a yes man. You need to do that. Nope, you can't do that, because that rule is outvoting that. And suddenly, the person that could never do the job, suddenly is telling you how to do the job. And if the world never had these people, I can tell you for now, the world would be a better place. Jesus Christ. They got a bit of work on now. Looks like a dust cart's overturned. So, you know, I just think to myself, is it right that we're treated the way we are? I've seen a lot of vlogs on. One, and I'd like to mention, hopefully I don't get in trouble for him, his name's Reverend Simon. I listen to a lot of his vlogs, and do you know what? The guy is probably one of the only people that have ever knocked the nail on the head. I love it when he talks about, you know, the working conditions for drivers. I've had quite a few times when I've been knocked back. You want to use a toilet at a customer's premises, and they will say to me, sorry, we can't let the drivers use the toilet. Yes, I've had that. The driver cannot use the toilet. I mean, it's not exactly I'm going to be swinging myself around with a bit of rope. I am a human being, and if I need to relieve myself, I certainly won't be relieving myself in a Pepsi can or in a Coke bottle, or many times I've gone down a motorway and seen 2 litre bottles of Apple Tango, and you know it's not Apple Tango, so it's far from that, where guys are actually relieving themselves in bottles, putting the caps on and throwing it onto a hard shoulder, because that's got to be collected by someone. We should be able to use toilets and facilities. And that's about it. To be honest with you, I need to keep a kind of clear head at the moment. I've just started moving. So I'd just like to wish you guys a real good day. I hope you don't have a shit one like I'm looking at having already. I'm now about 2 hours behind myself, and I wish you all the best. So have a good day, and I'll catch you on my next vlog. I hope it's called that, or blog. Anyway, DJ Tazzy M signing out. Hope you all have a good day and speak to you soon. Love you all.